The Nepalese soldiers, or Gorkhas, have a history of more than 200 years in the British Army. Almost 50,000 of these Nepalese soldiers have died during their service for Britain, the Falklands, Iraq and Afghanistan. Dul Bahadur Pun is 87 years old. In the Gorkha Regiment of the British Army, he won the Victoria Cross for turning the battleground single-handedly in the Second World War. He served the army for 20 years and was the guard of honor at the Queen's wedding. Despite his loyalty to Britain, his application for an indefinite leave to remain, known as ILR, was twice turned down, on grounds that he didn't have enough ties with Britain. But after much difficulty, he was later granted the right to stay in October 2008. His case was deemed unique by the British government. The Gorkhas have won 13 Victoria Crosses, the highest number won by any single regiment.
Gorkhas on average serve 15 to 20 years in the British Army. Veterans with such long service should naturally, as of right, have the right to come and live here in the UK.
There are around 300 ex-Gorkha soldiers who are currently in the UK and are fighting for their right to stay. Jagat Bahadur Limbu, who served in the Gorkha Regiment for 16 years, has spent 2 years fighting for his right to stay in Britain.
I can't walk, nor can I go to Nepal. It's like a house arrest. None of us would choose to live a life of hell like this. But it's an order from the Home Office that we can't leave until the case is solved.
His visitor's visa expired early in 2008 and his application to stay is still pending.
I have finished around £17,000. Now my son is supporting me with 350 per month. He is also in the British Army. This government is building a strategy to delay the case until we finish our money and be compelled to go back to Nepal.
All these years, the Gorkhas have been paid much less than their British counterparts.
When I was in Hong Kong in 1984, my salary was about 900 Hong Kong dollar, but we were asked to say it was around 3,000 to 3,200 if asked by an outsider.
They are very respectful. They do not question authority. They have a great history of loyalty and of doing what they're told. If an order is given, they will follow that order. They don't campaign. For example, if Gorkhas were Irish, they would have been granted settlement a long time ago, because Irish people are not quiet, polite and respectful, and they would have spoken up for their rights much more loudly.
Around 1,500 more ex-Gorkha soldiers are still in Nepal, hoping to enter the UK. After many years of silence, those already in the UK have campaigned constantly for the right to stay. Their cause has been publicly supported by British MP Peter Carroll and the actress Joanna Lumley.
People stop me in cars, in supermarkets, they wind down the windows of buses, they wave off rooftops and they call out from school buildings about the Gurkhas. There is a feeling that such an injustice has been done by successive governments to these fine soldiers that it has to end.
However, the MOD, who was unwilling to appear before camera, says granting ILR status to the ex-Gorkha soldiers and their family will be expensive for the government.
It is become quite clear through the litigation we've been involved in that the Ministry of Defence is not keen to allow older Gurkha veterans to settle in the UK. We believe that one of the reasons that may motivate that is there's a real concern by the MOD that if older men are allowed to settle in the UK, that they may also seek to claim a higher pension.
The Gorkhas continue to remain loyal to Britain even today. 2 have died in Afghanistan in the last 4 months. 26-year-old Omadura became a widow last November when her husband died in Afghanistan. Her husband was a colour sergeant in the Gorkha regiment.
हामी अब सबैभन्दा ठुलो त अब बिहे भएपछि त आफ्नो उ नै हो हैन अब त्यो गुमाउनु भनेको त अब सारो छ अब मन बुझाउनु त गाह्रै छ है
Krishnadura's death has put Umar's stay in the UK in jeopardy.
Non-commissioned officer killed in Afghanistan, and his wife and children, who are based here in barracks in the UK, were under threat of deportation. And now they have been granted a limited period of permission to remain in the UK. They must apply again. This is a shocking situation where you have a war hero, a man who's prepared to die for this country, and that his family must live on tenterhooks wondering whether they will be allowed to stay in the country that their father or their husband died to protect.
Umar says she wants to stay in the UK for her and her children's future.
कसरी अब गर्नु जिन्दगी खाना अब नानीहरु छ नानीहरुलाई कसरी गर्नु भन्ने अब त्यस्तो लाग्थ्यो नि अब जस पहिला चाहिँ अब आमा मात्रै थियो नि अब अहिले चाहिँ जस आमा बाबा दुईटै हुनु पर्यो अब त्यो त अब गाह्रो छ नि त्यो त हजुर
While the trial for equal rights continues, many people like Uma hope they won't have to knock the doors of the court. Uma says she'll wait and watch.